By now, pretty much all of us have seen the endless commercials for Superbeets. If you live in a cave and haven't seen the commercials, Superbeets is a product made from cold-processed dehydrated beets. The resulting powder is said to have many benefits for health, including more endurance and better performance during exercise, along with lowering blood pressure. We need to roll back time a bit to understand the meteoric rise in popularity of Superbeets and similar products. In 1998, 3 scientists were awarded the Nobel Prize for discovering the role of nitric oxide in the cardiovascular system. This prompted an exploration of specific ways nitric oxide could be increased in the human body to optimize performance and health. According to scientists, nitric oxide is created in the body based on what is sometimes called the nitric oxide pathway. Nitrates exist in some foods, mainly vegetables, and are converted to nitrites when we eat the food. Then the nitrites are converted to nitric oxide in the body, which increases the amount of oxygen that is available, especially during exertion. So it seems logical if we eat more food with nitrates, we will produce more nitric oxide in our bodies. According to clinical research, the benefits may include better performance in endurance exercise, lowering blood pressure, which reduces the risk of stroke and heart attack, potentially helping to regulate blood sugar, reducing hardening of the arteries in the elderly, cognitive improvements in memory and problem solving, and reducing inflammation in the body. So why beets? Because beets are a food with one of the highest amounts of naturally occurring nitrates. There are some leafy green vegetables that have more, but processing them into a commercial form would be challenging, and they would probably taste terrible. There are several forms of beet supplements that are currently available. These include beet powder. Beet powder is made by grinding and dehydrating raw beets. This makes a fairly bulky powder that has a considerable amount of fiber, which reduces the amount of nitrate content as compared to beet juice concentrates. Beet capsules. These are made from beet powder. As in my review of Balance of Nature, I don't believe there's enough powder in the capsules to make it worthwhile. Beet juice concentrated powder. This is made by cold pressing raw beets into a juice, which is then dehydrated. They have higher nitrate content than regular beet powder per gram. So this is the best option for the highest nitrate values, and this is how Superbeets is made. Superbeets advertises that each 1 teaspoon serving contains as much nitric oxide as 3 whole beets. According to multiple outside reviews of Superbeets, that appears to be accurate. And then beet juice chews and gummies. Not exactly sure how these are made, but for Superbeets, 2 chews equals 500 milligrams of beet powder, which is about a 1/4 teaspoon. That doesn't give you as much bang for your buck as the beet juice concentrated powder. So what is the evidence of the effectiveness of products like Superbeets? Again, Superbeets is beet juice concentrated powder. Similar to my previous review of Balance of Nature, the question isn't so much whether Superbeets is beneficial, but whether you really get a meaningful amount in each serving. The Journal of Food Science and Biotechnology found that beet juice has 5 times as much nitric oxide compared to beet powder and whole beets. And pretty much all of the studies showing the benefits of beets were using beet juice. Most of the studies used about 500 milliliters of beet juice, which is the equivalent of around 8 beets. If you are looking to improve your exercise endurance, the studies were done by giving the test subjects around 2 cups of beet juice, waiting 90 minutes to allow the body to absorb the juice, and then testing performance. The studies found an improvement in the performance of the test subjects. For example, they ran faster with less perceived effort than the placebo group. Interestingly, heart rate and blood pressure were unaffected during the exercise period. It appears that the test subjects simply process oxygen better. Several researchers theorize that middle-aged and older athletes may benefit more from beet supplements than younger athletes. This is because it is believed that nitric oxide availability may decrease with age. The studies done on the effect of beet juice on cognitive functions such as memory and problem solving used slightly less beet juice, but also saw positive outcomes. One drawback to all of the studies is that the test groups were somewhat small. And what about potential risks? Before you start loading up on beet supplements, always check with your doctor first. There are several risks called out in the literature. First, beets are rich in oxalates, which can contribute to kidney stones. If you have any kidney problems, this might not be good for you. Second, if you are taking a blood pressure medication, beet supplements may lower your blood pressure to a dangerous level. There are probably other risks, so checking with your doctor is the only way to be sure that these supplements are safe for you. So what's the answer, miracle or myth? Based on the studies, it would seem that Superbeets may be worth using. However, the devil is not in the detail, it is in the dose. The clinical studies used beet juice that contained roughly 8 beets. The Superbeets powder daily dose is about 3 beets. The Superbeets chews and gummies are about 1 beet. Will lower doses be effective? Possibly. There doesn't appear to be solid research to say yes or no. And shopping for price is important since Superbeets isn't cheap, but stick with cold-pressed beet juice concentrated powder. But with all of that said, I'm going to give it a try, and I'll let you know how it goes for me.